Yeah, don't worry about what I'm watching. Your boy Jay on the Segway. So you're obviously here about to find out about this Garmin Zumo XT, right? So let's get to it. I'll show you. All right, y'all. Let's get into it now. We got this Garmin Zumo XT. This is dedicated motorcycle GPS. All right. It comes with an actual cable, so if you need to plug it into a laptop or if you want to charge it via USB, and it's got the old school USB styles you guys can see. Hopefully you can see. That'll plug into the back here. You got two flaps. You got one for your memory card and one for the charging cable that you have here. Also with this kit comes a supplied motorcycle mount, okay? A motorcycle mount, I have mine mounted on my bike right now, but let me see. It's got like a ram mount that you use to mount it. And it's got like the little skinny arm that you can use. Like if you have you want to hook it up to a bar, like screw it onto one of your bars or whatever on your bike if you have exposed bars. My bike doesn't, so I had to use the ram mount route. And what I did was I went on Amazon and I found a ram mount that's the same size ball as the one that this thing will come with. It's a 1-inch. And it's got a flat but flexible base, and this base comes with adhesive, a very sticky adhesive. And so I went on ahead and found a good spot on my bike. You guys can see in the videos that I did with my motorcycle ride. And I put it on there and I actually let it sit. They recommend 24 hours minimum. Mine sat for probably about like a week and a half before I even mounted my GPS on it to test fit and see how it looked and everything like that. But you can do test fitting before, of course, before you actually stick it to your bike if you go that route. So yeah, you got the mount, the motorcycle mount, and you got this cable that it comes with and the GPS. It doesn't come with a hard case, it doesn't come with a soft pouch or anything like that. So I highly recommend investing in one. I happen to have a GoPro one that came with a kit that I bought from GoPro. And so this, I actually keep this in that when I'm not using it. This is a pretty cool GPS. I really like it. Like I said, it's a dedicated motorcycle GPS. It's good it's good for finding those really good roads that you like to ride as a motorcyclist, those really curvy roads. And this really has a lot of information on it. You can use it like this in landscape mode or portrait mode. Now, it's either going to be landscape. The portrait mode is going to be like this. If you turn it this way to this portrait mode, it won't change. If you go upside down, it won't flip upside down. It is very specific, straight up like this, the normal way, or like this with the Garmin sign on the bottom. This does have an external speaker if you do not have a Bluetooth system that you can actually mount this to, which by the way, this is hook up to your phone, your Sena headset, your Apple iPod, and you can actually control them. Not your phone, but your iPod. Like if you're listening to music or something like that, you can actually control it. It has a control panel on this GPS and you can use to control it. Pretty cool, but I'm stepping too far ahead. With this on the mount, this becomes very waterproof. I guess I shouldn't say waterproof. I say highly, highly water resistant. So I rode through 2 rainstorms already on my ride with this GPS mounted on the mount rack, and it forms a tight seal. You're gonna snap. You'll snap this inside of the mount, and it forms a very tight, highly water resistant seal. And it worked out pretty good. Like I said, this external speaker is not very loud, but you can still hear it. If it goes off and says something, you can hear something, and so you'll know to look at the screen in case you're in La La Land enjoying the beautiful view that this GPS is going to take you through. So I'll go over, so this video is going to probably be broken up into 2 parts. So I'm just going to kind of go over the GPS. I don't want to talk about things because there's a lot of people that talked about the same stuff already. Like, oh, this can do this. It has this much storage, which it does hold up to 32 gigabytes memory card. I haven't tried a bigger one, but in the instructions, it says that 32 gigabytes is the biggest memory card you can get. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything special. You're basically just saving like maps and stuff like that on here. Maybe some music. So maybe if you want to actually have music, you can actually download them onto a mini SD card and put them in here. And then you can listen to your music off of this. Or if you have a headset in your motorcycle helmet or a Bluetooth speaker that you have, or a Bluetooth system hooked up to your motorcycle itself, you can actually play the music off of this onto those speakers, because this, as long as you Bluetooth it to this actual unit, it's fully, the integration is amazing, pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go on ahead and change the camera angle, and I'm gonna put the camera on this GPS. I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm just gonna browse. I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna browse through menus. I'm just gonna let you, I just want you guys to see what it looks like and how it looks. And then we'll do a second video and we'll jump into some of the features a little bit more. And so you guys can see what this thing's all about. If you guys like to ride long distances, I highly recommend this. This is even good for a car, by the way, but we'll get into that. All right, so let's go on ahead and get into first person view mode. All right.
Please drive to highlighted route. Please drive to highlighted route.
As you guys can see, this GPS has a lot of features in it. Like I say, you could set a waypoint on this thing. Hey, I want to go to Topeka, Kansas, or let's just say Denver, Colorado, which is a good 7.5 hours from where I'm at. You put it in the GPS. If you need to go camping, you guys seen the option. I can click on campgrounds nearby, or overlanding. Those are different apps that you can probably download on your phone, or they have an actual like website that you can go to. And people actually update this. This thing stays updated. Every time there's an update on your GPS, it's probably updating some of that information. So you yourself, what you can do your due diligence, and you can go on the iOverlander app, and if you know of a good place to sleep, someone can sleep, you can actually put it in the system, and then when there's an update for this GPS, it'll update it on here. That's how I found a lot of the places for me to sleep at. I slept in a city bench, or there's a city park bench. My last night on the road, I was like, I didn't feel like getting a hotel, didn't feel like throwing my tent, and it was like 11:30 at night. So I went on this GPS that was along my route. I found that place with the iOverlander app, and I said, well, hey, I got there. I was like, oh, it's perfect. It's in the bed, it's covered, so if it did start raining overnight, I wouldn't get wet. And I slept for about a good 5-6 hours, and woke up the next morning and continued my ride. Perfect. This thing is amazing, guys. Perfect GPS for those people traveling in a car. You don't have to have a motorcycle. You've seen it. It said, what is it? Car, motorcycle, and something else. Can't remember the 3 little main functions that this thing will give you good services for. So if you're in a vehicle, in a car, if you're overlanding, let's say you have a camper, this is your guy, man. This has all the campgrounds in it. It tells you the prices. You guys seen it. I don't have to tell you too much, all right? Really good GPS. I think that's all I have right now for it. You know, when you buy things like this and they're dedicated, what they give you that a normal GPS doesn't give you is ruggedness. This can take vibrations like crazy. It's built to withstand vibrations. It's built to withstand falls, you know? It's built to withstand weather. A normal car GPS ain't gonna do all of that for you, you know? It'll work, but if there's too much moisture in the air, for example, it's going to get inside your circuitry and it may corrode it, and it won't last that long. Same thing with your cell phones. You know, using your cell phone. I used to use my cell phone actually until I started doing some research, and these things are built for a reason, guys. Your cell phone can handle, it has image stabilization, chances are, but it can't do it for too long, and you actually start to ruin a camera on your phone when after a while. And you don't have to be using your camera, it's just a constant vibration, you know, the gyro inside your phone, it gets screwed up. Where this thing right here, this is built for that. It has special components, and that's why they're usually expensive. You know, they do cost a little bit of money, but if you have like a credit card or something like that, for example, you know, there's always ways around it. Maybe you want to get it from a retailer that offers you know, 0% financing for 12 months or something like that. Then definitely worth the buy. It's definitely like I said, it dealt with it dealt with the 128 degrees in Death Valley, right? It dealt with 2 different rainstorms. I haven't put it in extreme cold temperatures. Don't get me wrong. These do have tolerance levels. I think the tolerance on the high side is 130 something degrees. On the low side, it's like maybe close to 0 degrees. You know, and it'll still work when you get close to those thresholds. It's just gonna be a little slower. You know, chances are, if anything, is going to be a little slower, whether on the really hot side or the really low side. I used this thing in Death Valley. It was 128 degrees, guys, literally, and I was out there for like almost 6 hours, and this thing didn't flinch. It just worked. It did what it was supposed to do. I kept putting different waypoints in it, and it just worked. So definitely recommend it if you're in the market for such a tool, okay? If you're looking for something for like a truck, maybe it's not your thing, but anything like a camper, you know, SUV, motorcycle, car, this thing is going to be badass. In fact, if you were only going to travel by car or RV, I would actually get this over any regular vehicle GPS, even though this thing, you know, is supposed to be a motorcycle GPS. Now, so now that we're talking about that, the mounting kit that this thing came with, none of it's going to work in a car. It doesn't mount to a car. So you're going to have to figure out a mounting solution. I haven't even looked at Garmin's website. They may offer a car suction mount kit for this GPS. And if so, that'd be bad asparagus. So like I said, definitely recommend this thing. It is legit. The screen is extremely bright. It's glossy. But when it turns on, especially if you have the brightness all the way to 100%, and let's say the sun is behind you, usually when you're riding your motorcycle and the sun's behind you and the sun is beating in on your screen, you're like, I can't see. Not with this thing, man. You actually still see your screen, and very well. Very impressive. It has automatic brightness, so like when nighttime comes on, if you have the settings on auto, it's going to automatically dim down to the night setting or change its coloring to, you know, so that it's better for your eyes at night, for riding at night. Yeah, I have no complaints really about this GPS. I have literally no complaints. I got one. Got a bitch about something. They could have put a second speaker on this thing, because like I said, this thing isn't very loud. So like when it's talking, if you don't have a headset built into your helmet, you're not going to hear this thing very well. You will hear it make a noise, you will hear it talk, but you won't understand it very clearly unless you got one of those bikes that got extreme good wind protection. Otherwise, but you'll hear it and you'll know to look at the screen and see what it's prompting you to do or what it's telling you is up ahead or something like that. So that's a good thing. But anyways, I think I'm going to stop it right here. All right. If you guys have any questions, put it down below or DM me, Jay on the Segway at Snapchat. I have an Instagram, Jay on the Segway, but I haven't worked Instagram. I haven't really figured that out yet. Or you can message me here on YouTube. All right. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to go on ahead and put this thing away. And like I said, if you have any questions, put it below or ask me on Snapchat. Okay. So see ya, and probably wouldn't want to be ya. Okay. Peace.